Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday to you. Feliz Viernes, por mi hermanos y hermanas. It's your your tío, right here. And we're here to talk about Texas versus Mississippi State this upcoming weekend. Looking forward to it. Like, why are you not live? Hey, gotta fly out. Gotta go to Mississippi. Never been to Mississippi. I've driven through. I take it back. I've driven through Mississippi. Never actually stayed there. Looking forward to seeing what this place is about. Don't you think about it though? I got security at my house. And I got nosy neighbors, which is way better than my ADT system. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. 160 something thousand strong. We're gonna keep this thing going, this party going. But yes, Texas, last road game of October. We've been away for all the entire month. I say we, you and me. If you've been traveling, a lot of y'all been traveling to games. I've been traveling to every single game. It's like a hot minute since we spent the weekend home, right? We've had Florida. We've had Texas OU, which was away. We've had the Kentucky game, which was away. And now we've got this one, right? And so we'll be back next week. We're finally home, Halloween weekend, and we'll get Texas versus Vanderbilt, and we'll see what everything looks like. But for right now, let's do a quick recap. Let's just talk about a couple of different things. I'm super excited for this weekend. This is a Friday. It's a Friday of hope, a Friday of renewed enthusiasm, a Friday with renewed feelings for everybody, right? So let's just hope by the time we get to the post-game show on Saturday and all the subsequent shows that this team would have done something to make you happy, to take you all off edge. My goal, if I can have a dream scenario, I would love it if it's Saturday after the game. Sarkisian looks at me sarcastically, glee, whatever it is, and say, "So you asked me about play calling, and we dropped 50, huh?" Like, I ain't even gonna be mad at him. Even if they'll drop 50. Hell, you drop 30 something in the win. I'll take that. Sark, you can dunk it. You can windmill that thing. Back. Fine slammer jammer. 360. You can hey, shack it on me. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, the Texas plays well. That's all you care about. And if you guys are happy, I'm happy. All right, let's do a quick recap of some things. Let's catch up with some stuff real quick. Because I understand that everybody doesn't watch every moment of my show every single week. Shame on you. But nonetheless, here are my power rankings heading into this upcoming weekend. I've kept Alabama at that number one spot. I moved Ole Miss up to number 2 after that good win this past weekend. I had to drop ATM, aka Texas A&M, only because of Ole Miss's win. Georgia slips a little bit behind them. Vanderbilt at my number 5 spot. Ain't nobody laughing at me for my Vanderbilt picks nowadays, but nonetheless, I got Vanderbilt at the number 5 spot. Missouri at 6. You can see Tennessee there. You know, someone was asking me. This is really good. They asked me a fantastic question. Because they said, well, listen, we got Mississippi State against ranked ahead of Texas. Does that mean that you think that Mississippi State's going to beat Texas? I said, man, what that means is I think Mississippi State has had a better win than Texas has on their season. Now, look, we could debate this, right? Arizona State versus beating Oklahoma. Like, yeah, there is something to be said for that. Either way, we'll get to what my prediction for that game is coming up soon. Then I got Oklahoma at that 10th spot. LSU, don't love them. We got the Gators at 12. Auburn, which is not a bad team, by the way. Auburn's not a bad team. They just had a lot of bad fortune. And hey, look, maybe that does make them a bad team, if we're just being honest with you, because good teams find a way to win, right? Bad teams find a way to lose. But Auburn's at that 13th spot. Kentucky is at 14. South Carolina at 15. They got me so mad. So freaking mad, Beamer. I was so Beamer, you had me in your corner, dude. You had me in your corner. I was going to campaign for you to get that Oklahoma job. As it stands, Venables going to have that job. And, well, you're just going to have a bad season. And then there's Arkansas. They're at that my 16th spot. All right, so what we got going on this weekend, y'all? What does it look like for the games this upcoming week? Well, we know Ole Miss is at Oklahoma, 11 o'clock. If you're not going to Mississippi, shame on you. Y'all go to all these other games. Y'all, everybody hit me up. Hey, you in Florida? Where you at? Let's hang out. Oh man, whatever. I'm going to see moms. Some of y'all was at Kentucky. Some of y'all was at Dallas. I haven't heard nobody tell me they're in Mississippi. Where are y'all at? Y'all leave me by myself. Well, y'all gonna be at home. Y'all can watch Ole Miss at Oklahoma. I'll probably be driving to the stadium at that time. Ole Miss at Oklahoma. That's the 11 o'clock game. We definitely all need to watch that. We got Auburn at Arkansas. This is one of those someone's got to win kind of games, right? Somebody got to win this thing. And Arkansas is not that bad, low key. They're not that bad. They made a coaching change. They're not that bad. And I was hearing, forget which coach on the SEC conference call was talking this week, but he's like, they do have some different variations of what they used to be. They're not that bad. They're not good. They're just not a team that you should sleep on. You got Missouri at Vanderbilt. That's the primetime game. That's the game a lot of people are going to be watching. You got Drinkwitz, acting like, oh man, no one believes in us. They're going to play the underdog role. You got Vandy, they've got to know what it's like to be the top dog. So, it's going to be that one's going to be a fascinating one to watch. Y'all probably won't get a chance to watch a lot of it, but you might be able to watch the highlights, or if you got the 2-box, 4-box, on YouTube or whatever y'all got, you might be able to watch it on that. Alabama at South Carolina. Whatever, South Carolina. Texas at Mississippi State. Nightcap, you got Texas A&M at LSU. I've got, LSU start off, you felt really good about them. They haven't really done much since then, but you got that game there. And then you got Tennessee at Kentucky, which, no one should really have to care about. But if they do, if we are caring about this, if we are, talking about this, then something's happened wrong on the flip side of that. So there's those games there. As I record this, I'm recording this on a Thursday night. So the injury report came out on Wednesday and Thursday. The guys who are out for Texas are Aaron Butler, Michael Taft, and Cole Hudson. The people who are probable are C.J. Baxter, Xavier Filsaime, and Jonathan Cunningham. Now, we kind of, obviously we kind of knew about Michael Taft a couple of days ago, with the thumb and the whole surgery that he had, right? And so, with Michael Taft out, it's going to be interesting because we know. Well, I'll tell you a little bit more about Mississippi State in a second, but he's going to be out. He's going to be out for a little bit. So, with Michael Taft out, you're looking at certain guys who are going to have to try to fill in for him. You've got the Derek Williams of the world and see what he may look like. And, there's I think there's something to be said, about, something to be said about the depth that they have on this team, because this is one of the things that we talked about going into the season was like, okay, they may have some injuries, but Texas is supposed to have enough depth to overcome that. And so, what we're going to find out is if you have a guy like Michael Taft who is out, whether it's Derek Williams, whether it's Xavier Filsaime, right, filling in for him, what does that look like? Now, Sark on a conference call really talked about Xavier, talking about that he had, really high football IQ, describing him as a guy who could cover, how he could tackle, and how he's got the prerequisites of being a really good safety, right? Because he said, hey, he's been really successful on special teams. Um, and he was able to play at a high level for them against Oklahoma. So he likes them, but you've got Derek Williams, you got Xavier, right? So those are going to be the guys that they lean on. But the other part of it is that CJ Baxter is going to be back. Now, what we got to, what does that mean for the Texas offense? Because there's a part of you that's like, oh, damn, CJ Baxter's back. That's what's up. And there's another part that for me, I'm like, oh, yeah. Is that offensive line still in front of him? Oh, well, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to be, and I'm not trying to be negative, right? Because, yes, having CJ Baxter back is fantastic. But unless he's the next second coming of Barry Sanders, where Barry Sanders never had a great offensive line, right? But Barry Sanders was so damn good that, he was able to overcome a lot of that, right? Unless CJ Baxter's the second coming of Barry Sanders, you're like, oh my God. Hang in there, young man. But you still got, you still got Trey Wisner, who's back there as well. And so we're going to see what that whole thing kind of looks like with that in mind. All right. So let's do this. Y'all know I'll be honest with you. This is one of my favorite parts of things that I like to do. That I'm going to make this a little bit larger for y'all. Hold on one second. Let's do this. Is that big enough? Nah, you know what? I can do this real quick. Hold on. There you go. How about that? All right. Let's look at, y'all know I love this website. I love looking at it. It's got great stats. They should pay me for the amount of that I use them, but they might say in return, like, well, shit, you should pay us for using our stuff. Whatever. Let's look at the total offense. This is SEC rankings, by the way. Okay, this is SEC rankings. Let's look at the total offense right now. If you look at it, you've got Texas ranked at that 11 spot. You got Mississippi State ranked at 9th. Okay, so it's not a huge, dramatic difference between 9 and 11, but it's just something to pay attention with Mississippi State averaging 405 yards per game, Texas right at 368, right? So now you look at the total defense, though. This is where it gets interesting. Texas ranked 3rd in total defense. Mississippi State ranked 12th. You got to say to yourself, if there was an opportunity for Texas to do something really good, it would be against this defense. But I know what you would say. Yeah, Odmar. Well, Florida is ranked 11th. Kentucky is ranked 14th, right? So I get it. And both of those teams look like gangbangers. Like they were killing it when it was all said and done. So I 100% hear you, and you're not wrong for the things that you said. Red zone conversions, if you go with those teams, again, Mississippi State tied for 9th as far as red zone conversions are concerned. Texas at the 13th spot. It's going to be better. Opponent red zone conversions. Texas really good at making sure you don't score. They're number 2. Again, really good defense. Mississippi State tied for 8th. Three-way tie for 8th with that particular spot as well. This is interesting because when you talk about long scrimmage plays, you've got Mississippi State at that 10 spot. You got Texas at that 13th spot. But when it comes up to giving up long scrimmage plays, you got Texas at 4. You got Mississippi State at 11, right? So Mississippi State does have a way of giving up stuff. Now, sacks is interesting because Texas is becoming in bunches. Number 4, Mississippi State, they don't necessarily get to the quarterback that great. They're tied for 13th. And I know what you're going to say. Yeah, Unc, tied for 13th. Tied with Kentucky. I know. It's that thing where we're like, I can tell you, like, hey, man, this team maybe is not that good. By the way, Georgia at 16th is crazy. That's crazy. 8 sacks Oklahoma has 28. That's wild. Wow. We'll dive into that at some point in the upcoming weeks. Passing numbers real quick, just so you guys have that. Blake Shapen right there at the 11th spot, averaging about 217 yards per game. Arch at 207. On paper, you look at this thing and you just kind of say to yourself, damn, it's crazy to think this, but it's kind of even, this whole thing. Now let's get to my keys to victory. Let's get into the keys, because I know you're there. What's up to Rodolfo and Money B and all of y'all, man? Like I probably shouldn't name drop, because then South End Zone Queen. I don't even know where South End Zone Queen is. I don't even know if she's watching the show anymore. The Michelles of the world, and Tex Blondes, and my man Court is there, and man, there's just, I go down to the list. Mark Anthony's, like all of y'all. I know I'm gonna miss some of y'all, and I apologize for it. But I appreciate you, Nate Dogg, all of y'all, T, all of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. And then somebody's gonna be like, "What about me?" I'm sorry, Ben. I can spend a whole show just going through all the folk that I know, and I do appreciate all of y'all, Mark, all of y'all, man, Ben, Mike, all of y'all. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Okay, so let's get to my keys to the keys to victory. All right, number one, hasn't changed, won't change, can't stop, won't stop. Number one, my key to victory. Please don't get Arch Manning killed. And I say that because, and what that really is a reflection of is offensive line. We need y'all to block. We can't take Arch taking these kind of hits. And look, I'm not mad at some of these guys, because it's easy to pick on Nick Brooks. Nick Brooks is a young dude. Like, Nick Brooks in all actuality, he should be out there. So I'm not even mad at him. I'm not even mad at Connor Roberts. I'm not really mad at these guys, right? But you're here. You're at the University of Texas. And Arch Manning is the franchise. And you got to protect the franchise, man. It just is what it is. It may not be fair, but young bucks are gonna learn life ain't fair. And so at the end of the day, you got to find a way to make sure Arch ain't getting up off his back the whole time, because Arch can't take many more hits like this. I keep saying this, and knock on wood, I'm not trying to speak any kind of negativity out there. I'm not trying to put it out there in the atmosphere. But at the end of the day, we just all know football. You know football. You watch football. You can't have your quarterback taking those kind of hits consistently. There's only so much that a body can take. Please, you can't allow Arch to get killed. The problem that's happening is Arch is so concerned about getting nailed. And it's easy to say, well, don't worry about it. You don't worry about it. Imagine, you playing a game and someone's got to hit you. And they're like, well, don't worry about getting hit. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? Hell yeah, I'm worried about it. Arch you can tell he's concerned about it, because he's like, oh, snap. Like, are these mugs, are they going to block for me, or am I about to get knocked the blank out? Don't get Arch Manning killed. Number two, y'all know this. Gonna keep saying it until it happens. You gotta get Ryan Wingo involved. This offense is going to be better. This offense is better when Ryan Wingo is a huge part of it. I am waiting for that Ryan Wingo breakout game. It's gotta happen. When this offense is clicking, and if this offense is cooking like hot grease, it's going to be because Ryan Wingo is involved. Wingo, I have not given up on you. I have not given up on you. I believe in you. To you, Ryan, the Wingo family, y'all watching this, cousins, in-laws and outlaws, y'all letting Ryan know, Unc still believes in him. And Unc has been saying every week of the season, you gotta get Ryan Wingo involved. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna continue saying it until it happens. You gotta get Ryan Wingo involved. You get Ryan Wingo involved, this offense looks good. You walk out of there with a victory. If we're talking about Ryan Wingo with 2 receptions at the end of the day, I don't believe this is a team that's going to walk out there with a victory against Mississippi State. Got to get him involved. Number 3, got to establish the run game. Some of the stuff sounds familiar. It does sound familiar. You know why it sounds familiar? Because we hadn't seen enough of it consistently. But when this offense has clicked, Oklahoma, kind of the main one. I don't really count Sam Houston State, but Oklahoma for sure. Run game. They're running the ball. And Trey Wisner running, catching. That's what you got to have. Now, I don't know how many reps CJ Baxter's going to get. I don't know how involved he's going to be, right? But at the end of the day, you got to run the ball. You got to be a downhill running team. Sark has prided himself on that. He said so much that that's what they want to do. That's what they want to be. Well, this is the game. You got to be able, you got to run the ball. If you can't run the ball, man, it doesn't get any easier. It's not going to get any easier against these opponents. You got to establish the run. And look, they went a little heavy against Oklahoma. If you got to do that, if you got to go 2 tight end to establish the run, so be it. But you got to impose your will against this team. Number 4 is Whale. Hold on one second. Mistake that was made. That's all right. We're gonna get back to that. Man, that one I don't like. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this one. I'm gonna get another one on here. Okay. Well, it's gonna be 4 keys. There's another key in there. Okay, so let's establish the run game. The 4th key, it won't be on the screen. It won't be on the screen, right? But there definitely needs to be a chemistry between Arch and his receivers for the deep ball. Why did I say that? Because Texas, and this is my number 4 one. It's not on the screen. It's number 4. It's not up here. It wasn't put in. It's fine. If Texas has to play their offense in a phone booth, it's going to be tough on them. You got to establish the deep ball. You got to take your shots. Texas has to take their shots. And they didn't take a lot of shots against Kentucky. And I understand that they wanted to kind of maybe reduce or kind of eliminate the turnovers. I get that. But you've got to be able to take shots. You got to take shots down the field. And I get one of the tough parts about taking shots down the field, right? Is, well, if your offensive line ain't blocking, you don't have time for a slow developing play. I get that. But they've got to be able to take it. They've got to be able to keep these defensives honest, because if they can't keep the defenses honest, and if you can't do number 1, which is don't get Arch Manning killed, then you can't take shots on the field. But you got to be able to, 1, don't get Arch Manning killed. And if you don't get Arch Manning killed, then you can take some shots on the field. You got to be able to have the deep play capability, because if you don't have the deep play capability, it's too easy to pick you apart from a defense. And there's a reason why some of these defenses go into this game, Florida, Kentucky, weren't viewed as great. But because this offense was so limited and because the offensive line was so bad, we saw what happened. Don't get Arch Manning killed. Got to be able to take those shots down the field. And number 5, which I should be able to put on the screen, and if you watch this show, you already know what I'm about to say. Take the points. And Sark, you showed us you have the ability to take the points. You've shown us you have the ability to do it. And honestly, I do believe as the season's going along and Sark is seeing how limited the offense can be, he's like, you know what? 55 yarder, let's try it. 56 might be in range, right? Like, I think he's understanding, like, hey, my offense is not that good. If I need to take some shots, so be it. I will just go ahead and take these shots, take these points rather, and Sark, continue to take the points. You're on the road, hostile environment. Take the points. You've been doing it the past couple of weeks. Keep it up. If you do that, you're able to walk out of here with a victory. All right, y'all. Enjoy your Friday. Feliz Viernes. Remember what I always say, live each day like it's your last. One day it will be. So go out there, enjoy your Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. I will see you on the post-game show. Y'all take care. Be safe. Don't get into any kind of trouble. Loves you. Appreciate all of your support. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. But again, 100% appreciates all of y'all. Every single one of y'all. Y'all don't know how much I do appreciate you, but I do appreciate you. I thank you for all of the things you do. I pray for you guys. So I'm telling you, with the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And let's hope your Texas Longhorns come out with a victory this upcoming Saturday. Because if not, right, let's not even get there. Let's just hope for it. All right, y'all. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Uncle be back soon. Y'all take care. Peace.